So I figured since I'm firing up MGBA today for this segment, might as well show off how quickly you can get back into the game if you set the continue setting in the options to quick. Let me just go ahead and load up the ROM here and crystal clear, open. And there we go. Just straight off the bat, we're straight into the game, no title screen or anything like that. I actually kind of wondered why this was even a thing to begin with, but I did actually have a bit of a look at that wall of text info thing before starting the game, and it actually makes sense. If you set the thing to quick, you can actually get more soft resets in if you're looking to hunt for shiny stuff, like shiny stationary stuff. That's also sort of the same thing with encountering wild Pokemon, is just having the quick encounter thing means you can get more encounters in every, period of time. So I've started off here at inside the gym. I don't know why I have, because I've made the decision not to go one-on-one with the big ego here, with the big conk, with the big shows. So I'm just gonna walk out and just not elaborate on that stupid reference I just made. What I will do though, because I forgot to do this in the last segment, yeah, we've got these again. And I've also got a Fearow. Went and picked one of those up on Route 22. They are not at all difficult to find. I'll bet you anything, if I can have a further look in here, I'll probably end up finding one. Well, this isn't quite what I was looking for, but I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to look in this area. I figured I might as well show off some other stuff that you can grab here, like Doduo. Obviously not going to be using one of those. And the reason the Fearow has not been nicknamed is because A, I've not determined a nickname for this thing, and B, it's probably not even going to be on the team at all. It's a freaking level 8 Fearow. I called it level 7, but I have since raised it a level by taking on the trainers in Route 1. Weren't overly interesting. One of them had the Fire Red Omega starters, as I like to call them, and the other one just had a Bulbasaur. I think they were only like level 3 or something like that, so since we're not going to be taking on blue right now, this means that the only direction we can go is north. And in this patch of grass, it's pretty much just a bunch of bugs. Because in the original Gold, Silver, and Crystal, there was no Viridian Forest. Well, I mean, there was a shitty version of Viridian Forest that was basically just a maze, but they had to take all of the wild encounters and stuff like that and move them out to this area here, so that's why we're getting stuff like Leddybar and Caterpie and stuff like that. If we look hard enough, we will find Butterfree, as I mentioned in the earlier segment. But probably not going to end up showing up at all, so it's not that big of a deal. But I figured, again, it might be pretty useful. Like, it certainly beats grabbing a Caterpie or a Metapod and just evolving them straight up, because I obviously don't want to grab a level 3 Caterpie and get it all the way up to level 10, because that would be complete arse. It would be a lot better to just grab a Butterfree and then just grab that. So, I believe you can, in fact, get... Oh, hang on. Yeah, you can find a Butterfree in here as well, so that's why I figured I might as well just do a bit of rummaging around in this place. This is, for the most part, just the old Viridian Forest just implemented into Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Or that would be the case if it was implemented, but then of course they just didn't. I guess it's probably just because of memory reasons or something, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, he's a Pikachu, so that just pretty much kills off any real reason to grab one as your starter, because you can just get one from here if you want it. Obviously, I'm not going to use it, because I've used it many times. Instead, I'm just going to fight this doofus. I mean, grass cuts are a thing. I'm not entirely sure if the grass here would even be sharp enough. Or sturdy enough. I mean, it's freaking grass. Reminds me of a plant I have, like, out in the front yard, and it's got these leaves that... I remember slicing my finger open on one of them, and yet there was just no blood, but it was still stinging like all freaking hell. I don't entirely know why, but it was a bit of a thing. Oh, hey, look, we've got Weedles. These Weedles would probably be a bit stronger if I went and took on blue, but nah, screw it. considering that the trainers are this bloody weak, it's probably not a good idea that I take on these trainers. I figured, because there's just going to be higher level wild Pokemon here anyway, so I figured I might as well just grind off of those. I think there's only 2 other trainers in this area though. Oh, hang on. Item. That's useful, I suppose. I think I used like 3 or 4 Pokeballs catching the Fearow. So. And speaking of bugs, anybody who's watched Jish's Pokemon Yellow LP might have heard about his story with the cockroach that was like 2 inches long, and he had to like push a bowl up against the roof with the force of 1,000 men, I think. Oh yeah, here's a Pseudo-Widow. Obviously we don't have a Squirt Bottle, so we can't do anything with that. That could be a potential team member. I've not used a Pseudo-Widow before. Can't do anything with it right now at the moment though, so just gonna move on. And well, that guy I had to face because obnoxiousness. Spinnerack again reminds me, somebody on my Discord found a shiny Spinnerack that they couldn't catch. I offered condolences. But yeah, I actually had an encounter with a cockroach of my own. I think it was like last week or the week before. It's about as epic as Jish's one. I'll just sort of explain that as I'm going through here and sort of exploring Pewter City and taking out this idiot. So I can't remember what I was doing. I was just messing about on the computer or something like that. And I keep hearing this rustling sound. So I immediately think that it's just a rat or a mouse or something like that, because we do get them sometimes, and we have to grab mouse traps and stuff like that and just get rid of them, and it's a bit of a romp. But and because I thought it was a mouse or a rat or something like that, I would occasionally click my fingers or just stomp the ground, which just sort of makes them run away and just hide somewhere, and it wouldn't make too much noise anymore. Obviously that didn't work. And so I was just sort of looking back and forward at the other side of my room, just where the noise was sort of coming from. And then just as I was about to go back to do just whatever the hell I was doing on the computer, I noticed out of the corner of my eye some kind of movement over near my Pokemon Sun and Moon posters. Ultra Sun and Moon posters, rather. And then I saw it, the big fuck off flying cockroach just emerging from behind one of my posters, and I'm just like, well, okay, you are rather gigantic, excuse me while I go and get the bug spray. I don't know what it was. I don't know what made me walk to my door slowly. I just walked towards my bedroom door just slowly. I don't know why, but apparently that gave the cockroach enough time to just fucking spread out its wings and make a fucking beeline for my head. So I had to run my way out of my bloody room, and then just run out to the kitchen, grab the bug spray, and I come back and it's just not there anymore. And I'm like, where the fuck is this thing gone? The next thing I know, it's already back on the other side of the damn room, climbing on one of the doors to my wardrobe. So I'm like, alright, let's shake this bottle up, and let's just spray the shit out of this idiot and make sure it gets out of my misery. Before I'm even able to get up, it just launches itself off the door and lands on my bed, in amongst the bloody scrumpled blanket on the frickin' bed. So I got no idea where in the hell it actually is. So I grab the blanket and I just sort of throw it around and see if it's there. It's just gone. I don't know why it's gone, but it's gone. And so I just sort of sat there and I'm like, well, shit, what the fuck do I do? Eventually, it rears its ugly head on the floor just in front of the wardrobe door. So I grab out the bug spray and spray the shit out of it. And as you would expect, it's a hardy little shit and refuses to die. So I just decided to grab my deck box as well as some random piece of paper which turned out to be a medical certificate of mine. And I just picked it up, dumped it in the toilet and flushed it. So in essence, I poisoned it, and then I also drowned it, because that thing, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's justified, because that thing tried to frickin' kill me. I swear to God, it was like that bloody, I'm trying to think of the sea. It was like one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! C cards, like Max C or Fly or just Shiny Black C, but it was another one where it's just an image of a guy with a newspaper in one hand and a freaking pot lid on the other trying to fight off a gigantic fucking flying cockroach. That's basically what happened to me. Anything in here? Max Revive. Yeah, there's for some reason like really high-end items in this area. Let me actually have a look. I think I picked up a Max Potion earlier as well. Yeah, I've got no idea what the go is with that. For some reason, Blue just has full restores. He'll use it on his last Pokemon if he has to. I did this in the other test run I did. And here, without any badges, we just have access to Vermilion City. And here is the Ball Axe, which I have also found out on Discord does scale with the amount of badges that you have. Somebody else is actually playing through this game, and they got here without any badges, and they encountered the Snorlax, and I believe it was level 5, so if you want to use a Snorlax, then you can pick this up at any time you want, and it will be roughly around about the same level as the rest of your team, so that's pretty convenient. It's something you can pick up at your own leisure. It does have a low catch rate, though, and can wreck you for days upon days, so catching it in the early game is a bit of a challenge, but I mean, it's something you could do in X and Y. There was that level 15 Snorlax blocking that bridge across, I think, Route 7. So, not impossible, but not something I'm really interested in doing, because I don't plan on using the Snorlax. So I'll probably just catch that whenever the hell I want. I believe if I walk up here, the Pokemon in here are like level 12 or some shit. So you can... Oh, hang on. I have to stop pressing the E key, because it triggers the emulation drop-down menu on this thing to open up, and I really don't like that. I keep thinking E is set to start, but I've got D actually, so I've got the D. So, not too sure if I showed that off. I have now. DVs, happiness, all that sort of fun stuff. So, I guess here I'm just sort of kind of wandering. I would love to say that I can get a fishing rod from here and maybe get a water type, but no. It just asks you about the Lake of Rage. Yeah, it's sadly depressing, but I guess I might as well show off a little bit more about the magnitude of the open worldness of this game, because we can go actually from Vermilion all the way up here to Saffron, and then from here we can walk all the way up. I might head over here so I can get the upgrade. I think you talk to this dude. Yeah, here we go. So that's how you get the upgrade. I believe you get this like, I think it's unchanged from what it was in Crystal, Gold, Silver, and Crystal rather. But yeah, you can get that anytime you want and evolve your Porygon. I don't think there's much of a consequence to evolving your Porygon as soon as possible. It's not a stone evolution. I think trade evolutions retain the same sort of level up, move, learning progression, so no real reason not to immediately evolve unless there's like something preventing you from doing so. I think there's like a NPC that offers like trades and then trade backs, so you can get those evolved forms, which is pretty cool, but yeah, you don't need a pass or anything like that. You can just walk straight onto the bullet train. And we're just in Goldenrod. So we started in Kanto, but now we have immediate access to Johto. So there you go. That's open world for you. And if we head down here, I'm not too sure if I should fight this dude. Yeah, screw it. I might as well just fight him. This is one of the guys that gives you his phone number in Gold, Silver, Crystal. So I might have a chat with him after and see if I can get the phone number. Because at least that way I'll be able to rebattle him with stronger Pokemon on his team. But for the time being, dealing with level 3s isn't going to be that big of a deal. I mean, besides the fact that I've got nothing but normal moves on the team, and Geodude just sort of tanks those like a beast. And I believe he's got 2 Geodudes here, so yeah, there's the other one. I'll probably just go ahead and... I don't know why I keep intermittently spamming the speed up key. I probably should just either speed it up like this or just not bother instead of just going all jittery and whatnot. Slug was pretty cool. Poison, that's obnoxious as you do. Can I just get in here, please? Okay, there we go. And another feature in Crystal we're about to have a look at right now. If we go in here, go ahead and throw a save state. Slot 4, I don't really give a shit. Yeah, he gives you the odd egg. And this odd egg, the only modification that's been done to this odd egg is that if the Pokemon you get from it isn't a shiny, it's still going to have good IVs. Or DVs in this case, because it's a Gen 2 game. But for the most part, it's not too bad. So, let's actually, I'm kind of curious. Let me have a look down here. Can I actually get a bike from here? Yes, I can. Yeah, you can actually get a bike in Cerulean as well. If you go there first, you can get the bike, or you can just come here as soon as you have access to it. Either way, you can just get a bike from right here. So you can do that. And I'm honestly not too sure what I'm going to do with the odd egg. There's not much in that can come out of it that I'm really interested in using. The ones I've not used are Hitmonlee and Hitmontop, so I could use one of those if I get a shiny Tyrogue out of the egg. There's also Cleffa and Igglybuff, which I'd rather not use unless I was in a playthrough where they were Fairy type, because at least they'd be interesting. I think the only other Pokemon I've not used is Smoochum, but since I'm going to be sticking with Steel in this playthrough and it's going to be an Ice type when it evolves, I don't want type overlap, so probably not going to get any use out of... I forgot I set the music to this, which is pretty cool. But yeah, since I've already got an Ice type, I don't want type overlap and stuff like that. Plus, I will continue to maintain that Jinx is nothing short of hideous, and I just refuse to use it. But if I was going to use it, it was probably going to be a playthrough like this, honestly. I wasn't going to use it in Virtual Console Crystal because I was going to use a Slowking there. So, I don't know. Let's go ahead and speed this up and keep going until we hatch this egg. If it turns out to be a shiny, I'll probably just end up keeping it and decide whether or not I'm going to use it. It's likely that it's probably not going to get any use whatsoever, but who knows. If I'm lucky enough to get something decent out of it, then I might at least have it around in the team for the time being, until I find something that's better. So, alright. What do we have here? We have a plain old Magby. Okay, that's not the most interesting thing ever. I used a Magmar in Silver, so obviously this wasn't ever going onto the team, even if it was a shiny. And yeah, pretty decent IVs there. The attack could do with a little bit of improvement, but the rest are all pretty decent. It was pretty close to being a shiny, to be fair, so... So, I haven't really accomplished much in this segment, but I guess that's just sort of one of the negatives regarding just the open worldness of this game. Just because you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. I could just easily just go and smash out 8 gyms and just knock over the Pokemon League whenever the hell I want. And I'm at the point where now I'm approaching about 19 minutes of recording footage, and I'm not too sure what I want to do next. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get my first badge. I could actually go and knock over Whitney right now. She probably might not be too terrible. She might still have a rollout Miltank, but screw it. I never said I would be doing this in any particular order, so let's go and just knock over this random gym because I feel like it. This Magby, actually, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll keep resetting until I get a shiny of some variety. If it turns out to be like a Cleffa or an Igglybuff, I may actually decide to use it, just because why the hell not? But I will cut back once I get I'll just cut back once I get a variety of a shiny of some variety, rather. Not too sure whether I should stop the recording. Actually, yeah, just screw it. I'll just stop the recording so that it doesn't do a thing. So I'll be right back. Well, I think that took about maybe half a dozen or more tries, but I've gotten a shiny of some variety. Probably not the most interesting one, but, I mean, I'd probably be more inclined to use Igglybuff, but at the same time, if I ever decide to go through Pokemon Prism in the future. The Jigglypuff line is actually sound type in that, so that might actually be kind of interesting. Cleffa, on the other hand, I could give it a shot. I don't really see much of a reason not to. Max Attack IV, which is pretty awesome. All the other standard IVs, as you would expect. Dizzy Punch, as you do. Don't know why it's got that much experience, though, to be fair. It's like, it doesn't have, it's just has a partly full bar. Oh well, I see no reason not to give this a bit of a crack. I don't think I'll be naming it at all, and I haven't got a team display thing set up for it quite yet. I'll probably end up making that and maybe sticking it in post. I don't think it's that big of a deal to put it in post, but might as well try to see if this thing can kick some ass. Well, certainly not going to kick some ass against a frickin' Pidgey. I do like how the little shiny sparkles are there next to the gender as well. So that's kind of cool. But I should get a decent amount of experience for Cleffa just by knocking over this thing. Provided, of course, I can actually hit the mark with my headbutts, because it's used a couple of sand attacks. And I got, like, no experience out of that. That's really, really dumb. Okay, in that case, let me just go ahead and heal. Maybe grab something from here, maybe like a Drowsy or something. I've not used Drowsy before, so that could be another potential team member. Hey, look, it's Jigglypuff. I will at least try and knock this over, just because I'm only one experience point away from leveling up. Come on. Come on, hurry up. I don't even know why I'm showing this off on screen, but whatever. The back end of this segment's already turned into a bit of a train wreck as it is, so... let me see. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll just hold off doing the gym until next time, just because I'm probably going to end up needing at least one more Pokemon, as well as just to level this Cleffa up a little bit, just so it's at least somewhat useful. So I'll probably just go ahead and knock over Whitney anyway, unless I make a decision on just knocking over somebody else if I want to. I've got a whole bunch of normal moves, so I can't go up north and take care of Morty. So I could maybe go south through Alex Forest and take care of Bugsy, but I'm not so sure how I feel about that. So next time we will definitely be knocking over a gym of some variety, though. I can tell you that much at least.